Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are watching me live right now, can you say a hello to me and let me meet all of you here so that we can start our session. And if you have been attending this series since Monday, then we are at the last talk of this series. In this series, I started with what all you should know before you turn to be 40. Now, when I say before you turn to be 40, what I meant was if you have already crossed 40, nothing to worry. Still, the assignments which are left need to be done. So we started with it. So first and foremost, obviously, I started to know yourself, and it was a whole series which I covered for the 4 days. So if you have not gone through it, I would encourage go through it before it is removed from the recording part, because it will be available in YouTube for another week maximum. And after that, I'm going to remove it from this YouTube. So if you want to go through it, this is the time to go through. All right. So just to recap what all I have covered. So in my first series on Monday, I covered know yourself. And in knowing yourself, I said you should know your strength, your weaknesses, and basically what all is your passion and what do you cry for, what do you sing for. And for all those things, I give you perspective that how do you come to know all this thing. The best way to come to know all this thing is by doing a career impact assessment through which you can come to know your inner personality, your external behavior, your motivation factor, and those subject knowledge can eventually help you to grow in your life. That's what I covered with the first session. And then in that I got into minute detail how to identify your gift area, how to identify your area where you will not be able to succeed, so how to delegate them. So those things I've already covered, so you can go through them. All right. And then I covered that if you want to succeed in your life, let's say by 40, why I've kept a landmark of 40, because if by 40 we do the right thing, then 40 to 70 we can actually accelerate our growth. We can go to at the maximum speed possible. And in that, family is very important, isn't it true? Because if family is not supporting, imagine you are trying to run a big, you have a big mission in your hand, but then you see people are not supporting you, nobody is with you. It's very difficult to run the battle alone. And especially when you are not alone, but you have to run alone. That means his family is not supporting you, then you need that support. And that is not going to happen automatically. It is intentional. You have to put effort for it. So that's what I covered in the second session. On Tuesday, probably I covered that. And I gave a couple of my podcasts. And if you have not downloaded my ebook yet, so which will give you 4 transformations of growth, I can again give you here. So go through it. You can download this ebook and you can subscribe to my email list if you want to, because that can help you. You can get my regular messages on education, which on an average weekly 4 or 5 emails you will get based on my research which I'm doing. So that can help you to be updated on your subject. And then third point I covered was determine your priorities, because if by 40 you're not clear about your priorities, that what would your life stands for, and that if you remember, I gave a basic perspective 3R and 3E. How do you determine your priorities? 3R. What are 3R? What is required of you? What will give you highest return? And most importantly, what is rewarding to you? And as I was talking that on paper, I'm a VLSI engineer. I'm supposed to be working in physical design or circuit designing, analog or digital design, but I'm not in that design anymore. Rather, I'm into helping people to bring out the best in them, improving their performance, developing their leadership strength, fixing marriages. I've been doing those parts. You know why? Because I realized that is rewarding to me. When I'm doing this work, I don't feel like I'm working anymore. So it is like something which I've converted my passion into my profession. That's rewarding. And it was a big shift for me. The reason it was a big shift, because when you invested your so many years into developing a career, and especially when I talk about my career, to get into IIT, I have to really wait for a long period of time. I did my graduation in 2002, then 2002, 2003, and 2004. After third attempt, I cleared my GATE exam. So imagine how much of effort I have put to get into VLSI domain and get into those VLSI companies. And after doing all this circus, now my heart says, man, this is not for you. You are not meant for VLSI. Trust on me. It is a big decision, because again, you have to reinvent yourself. And most of the people do not want to reinvent themselves because it is quite painful. The feeling of fresher is very painful feeling. So we want to, have control in our hand. And the best way to have control in our hand is not to get into a terrain in which you have to again be a fresher. And that is the painful part. And if that is what your calling says, then I think you have to take the tough decision. And if you need any help, I'm the right person. Contact me, drop me an email. You can respond to me on LinkedIn or Facebook and let me help you out if I can. If it is in my reach, I definitely help you out. And once you know your priorities, then you have to maintain your priorities. In that, I gave you again 3 things. What is the gave? I said, evaluate yourself. Where are you standing today? What do you do right now? And in that, after evaluating, it's like a Google map. You want to reach to this destination. Where are you right now? Starting point and the end point have to be clear. Path eventually will be figured out. No problem. Nobody has figured out the path from day one. Eventually you'll figure it out. So that should not be a problem at all, isn't it? So once you evaluate, then the most difficult part is eliminate. You say, why it is difficult? Very simple. We are a creature of habits, and our habits are formed. And developing those new patterns need to eliminate the old patterns. Becoming successful, you have to eliminate some people in your life who are not helping you to grow. It's like you're dragging yourself ahead and your old habits are dragging yourself back. Going ahead, coming back, going ahead, coming back. Man, it is so painful. How long? How long will you take this? So what you need to do? Come out of it. Cut that. Take a scissor and cut it, man. Cut it. It is painful. And success is painful. What to do? Anything significant you have to do, you have to take those painful decisions. Then you will say, is it really worth? I don't know. It's your calling. It's your life. You have to decide what is worth for you. For me, it was worth. So whenever I took a decision in my life, I had to remove certain people from my life. So I did not want it to, but there was no choice actually. I had no choice. I had to do it. So when I started my entrepreneurship journey, I had to let go my weekend party friends. When I started my health journey, when I thought of reducing my weight, I had to let go my good, loving, fat friends who were very good. They were loving me and they were feeding me good food. Remove them for temporarily from my life. And that's the only way it works out. That means you have to evaluate, you have to eliminate, and then, most importantly, you have to estimate. And in estimation part, no matter how good you plan, I can tell you everything will take more time. You try to purchase a car, your budget will be X amount. It will definitely suit the budget by 30%. You want to purchase a property, you have a budget of X amount, but by the time you purchase that property, the budget will shift to 40%. Anything you do, you want to buy a furniture, there's a budget in your mind. By the time you purchase that furniture, 40% is oversuited. Isn't it true? If that is what is with shopping, purchasing asset, what do you think about effort part? You want to start up a company, you want to start your venture, and do you think, your estimation time will really match? No. With all your good intentions, with everything in place, still you will end up delaying. That's the truth of life. When I started my entrepreneurship career in 2008, I thought things will take off just like that. But it didn't took off, man. It didn't took off. For 2 years, it was right on the ground zero. And I'm putting massive effort after effort after effort after effort. And I see that nothing is moving. What do? Keep pushing hard. That's the only way it works out. And obviously, you have to have some mastermind. You have to have some coaches. You have to have some mentors. So that's how you divide your priorities. So now your relationships are taken care. You know who you are. Your priorities are set. What do you do now? And fourth, I covered was before you get into 40, what you should do is you should have a clear-cut philosophy who you are. What would you stand for? And I gave an example of Johnson & Johnson. If you remember, in that what I was saying was, there was a time when Johnson & Johnson had a bad product in market. And that was really harmful. And if they have to remove that product from the shelf, it is $1 billion plus of loss. And the CEO was able to do it without any notice in just a fraction of a second. And in the board of directors, they asked, was it not a tough decision? A reporter asked him, what is not a tough decision? He said, no, it was not. The reason being, very beginning of the phase, we decided what are we going to do on the values part. And he said, that's what I did when I have to take this decision. I brought up my all board of directors of member and I said, are we going to follow these principles which you have wrote on the wall? Or will this just be for the writing? They all said, we are going to follow the principles. And once you follow the principles, things will fall in place. So it was very easy. That means before you make a blueprint of success in your life, why don't make a blueprint of what is the most important? I'll tell you, I've done that error. I was not very clear about this part which I'm talking about, my philosophy of life. And I messed up my life. I messed up my relationship because I did not set that as a philosophy of my life. And once I set the philosophy, after messing up, I had two choices, either go into guilt mode and keep crying and keep becoming a failure, or learn a lesson, make the philosophy, and I made it. And that philosophy I made was, I will give more than I take. Very, very important. I'll give more than I take. Whether it is career, whether it's my business, whether it is anything, I will give you more than I take from you. If I give you a service worth 50,000 rupees, I am going to offer you more than 5 lakh rupee worth of value. That is ingrained in me. And that's the way I work in my business right now. And anytime you change this philosophy, you will have tough time. Because business works on a very simple principle. Are you giving more or are you taking more? I did that philosophy. I decided my philosophy. And similarly, you have to decide your attitude. I decided one day my attitude. So then I covered the fourth part was the philosophy part. So if you've not gone through, I can encourage you, go to the YouTube series. It is available in YouTube. Complete them, because in next week, it will be removed from the self. Though I don't want to remove, but I'll be removing it because that's the only way it works out. So this week it is available. Next week it is gone. All right. So you can view it as long as it is available. And I gave you a certain podcast for it. Then obviously next priority I said was learn your trade. Yesterday I was talking about learn your trade. In that I gave a very simple perspective that to master any trade, to become a pro in that area, you will need 10 years of hard work. 10 years. And the moment I say 10 years, people are like, oh shit, man, 10 years. I recently have a discussion in one of my weekend groups. By the way, if you're not part of Ascending Your Peak program yet, you should be part of it. In this, I do a mentoring call every Saturday, 9 p.m. Tomorrow, I'll have a mentoring call where there are around 300 plus people turn up on a Zoom call. And we have a closed mentoring call where I take a topic on growth and then we have some discussion. So if you're not part of that program, you should be part of it. And if you want to attend it tomorrow, drop me an email or drop me a message on whichever forum you're watching right now. I'll give you a pass. I'll give you the Zoom link and be part of it tomorrow. So in that, what I was talking, one of what says, I remember one of my students asked me a question. Vijay, the way technology is changing right now, I mean, how will this 10-year rule work? I said it is still relevant. The reason being, cricket has changed. Let's take an example of cricket. Cricket of 2015, not 15, 26, like 2006, and cricket of 2020. There's a big difference. Because presently the test matches are no more. That craze of test matches is gone. Today there are 2020 matches. But is the cricket still relevant? Is the person who is having a good batting experience will not work? It will still work because the strategy is still the same. The field is still the same. The only difference has happened is technology and the way things are going on. Today it is more fast-paced compared to previously. But batting is still the same. Bowling is still the same. Things are changing. Similarly, you check it out any business. Only thing is, which has changed in last few years, is things are moving at a faster pace. That means if you are a person who take a long time to sift, you will have tough time. And with God blessing, I was in VLSI industry. In VLSI industry, everything changes at a faster pace. By the time I left IIT Madras in 2006, the node was 180 nanometer. And now when I see it is now, I think close to 8 nanometer or 6 nanometer, 4 nanometer. I'm not sure. Because by the time I was in the industry, it was 28 nanometer. And we are at the verge of getting 22 nanometers. That means things are changing at a bit pace. That's the only thing. But still experience counts. Still if somebody has experience in physical design and if things are changing totally, do you think it will not help him? That experience is still relevant. That means 10 years, if you invest in an area thoroughly with your passion, you will get maximum mileage out of it because it takes time to develop things. So that's I covered in my learn your trade part. And I told very categorically that 10 years you have to invest to become successful. And now today I'll cover a very simple part. The part is how do you make yourself future proof? In this, I have given only 4 things. Okay, write it down. If you're watching it right now live, you can write it down. Meanwhile, if you're available, why don't you say hi? Let me see. Durgesh has a very good question. How do we define success? Very nice question, Durgesh. Let me see if anybody else, any other questions are there. So thank you so much, Durgesh. I like this question. So Durgesh, to answer your question, it's a very good question, by the way. I think success is very simple. When you add value to yourself, is success. And when you have a clear-cut goal of your life and you're moving forward to that goal, that is success. And beyond success is significance. And significance will be when you start adding value in others. So success in one line is adding value to yourself. If you have a clear picture of what you want, if you are working towards that goal, I think that will be a very simple definition of success. So I like your question. Very nice question, Durgesh. It was nice. So now let's come back to the topic of today, which I'm talking about. How do you prepare for future? I would say just 4 things, very simple 4 things. First, write it down, and then I'll go into little details about each point. If you want to future-proof, first you need is a clarity of goal. What is the goal? Okay, and this in itself is a topic which I'll be covering very soon in one of this session. That first you have to have a clear picture about your goals. Okay. Second thing you need is after goal, there has to be a process in place because a goal cannot be accomplished without a process in place, right or not? The third thing you'll need is motives. What is your motive behind setting this goal at the first place? Why this goal is existing? I mean, what will happen by having this goal? So motives are important. And after motives, it will be price. So I'll go through it each detail a little bit so that you get a clear picture. So let's start with the goal part. Now, what is first? Let me give a clear picture. What is the goal, and why do we set a goal, and what is the purpose of the goal? When my mentor Paul Martinelli, when he started mentoring me, his biggest surprise to me was he said the purpose of the goal is not to accomplish the goal, and I was like, oh, is it? Then why am I setting the goal? And he started laughing. He said, the purpose of the goal is to grow you, to stretch you, to bring out the best in you. And he said, what the problem happens when they get set into goal setting? So how do we set a goal? We make some strategies and everything, and after some time, we forget the goal. I've seen it. I mean, see, when I left my IIT campus, I had certain goals in my life, and I realized my job is not giving me that goal. What do we do now? Oh shit! Oh, I made so much of hard work. I did my IIT. I prepared so hard, and I got into Qualcomm somehow. I'm into Intel now. I'm into Texas Instruments. And you mean to say I have to let it go? I have to start again? Oh, yeah, you have to. There's no other option. My goodness. I want to marry to my strategy. I want to marry to my idea, and that works sometimes, but not always. I'll tell you what will happen. The first thing is, let us find out what is the outcome, okay? Strategy and process will change with time, I can assure you. When you make a goal and the strategy which you will make, in next 6 months, you will see your strategy is not going to help you to achieve the goal which is set. At that point in time, you will have a choice to make. Are you going to let go the goal, or are you going to let go the strategy which you made while setting the goal? Which is right, which is wrong? I do not know. You decide. For me, accomplishing the end goal is important. Even if the strategy has to be totally opposite, I am fine with that, because for me the end goal is important. And I have seen in my experience of life, people are married to the goal more than goal. They start with the goal, then they get married to the process. Okay, I have to accomplish this goal through this way only. And I tell to them always, why to do so much of hardship? Why not change the strategy and make it an easy way to accomplish the goal? So let me give 4-5 goals which I set when I got awareness about this. The first goal I set was one day that I have to do something of my own. Now, what is that something? That point in time, I didn't have a clarity. If you ask me, okay, what is that something? I don't know, man. I was working in ARM. I was working in Qualcomm. There was only a dream. When I was to travel, something I have to do. Something I have to do. What? I don't know. And that point in time, I started getting mentorship. I was blessed that I got mentorship, and I understood the importance of mentorship. So I came across my mentor, Paul Martinelli, and he started mentoring me, and he started coaching me. And he helped me out big time. And he gave me a perspective towards things. And he said, let us write down the outcomes which are looking. Okay, right now don't worry about how it will happen. Because many times what happens, when we start dreaming, we are worried about how it will happen and we don't even dare to dream. That's a big challenge. So right now don't worry about the how part. It's okay, we'll figure it out later on. But let's first see what is the outcome you want. So one day I wrote, okay, I do not want to work for money beyond my age of 45. 40 to 45, I don't want to work beyond money. I will work definitely. I'm not a lazy guy. I want to perform to my peak potential. I want to grow to my peak potential. But the work should not be that I need to make money, so I'm working. I want to work because I'm passionate about my work. But is it money which is only making work? I don't want to be in that miserable situation. I want to, basic amenities has to take care. My survival, my kids' responsibility, and my wife's responsibility should be taken care. For that, I did not have to work by the age of 45. That is for sure. Somewhere, because I got an awareness, I said, man, I don't want to work for job beyond 10 years. No more. I don't want to work in job beyond 10 years. Is it a bad thing? No. I was blessed to be in good companies, but somewhere that was my desire. I don't want to work for somebody else. I would be a terrible employee. I would be a great business partner, but I would be a terrible employee. And I was able to feel that. I would not be able to justify my personality to be an employee. Somehow I could not connect. I said, that's fine. Okay, write it down. That is my goal. So I don't want to work for somebody else. I will create a business. That means I have to do a business. The next question can be, which business you're talking about? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what is business. I have zero clue about it. One thing was for sure, I was not visualizing electrons. Being an electronic engineer, I never had a dreams of electrons coming in my mind. Oh man, there's electrons flowing, some new architecture. I didn't got any such dream. So one thing was sure, that I will not justify a VLSI company also. I would not justify a technical company also, because I was very honest with myself. Man, I'm not getting a dream of electrons. That means I will not be the right fit for it. It's okay, though I'm IIT and that's fine. I have all the technical accolades in my name, that's fine, but that is not going to help me because it's not my passion. Wow, that's a big difficult part. Then I realized, okay, another dream of mine. By that time, I started reading books. I started reading books like Think and Grow Rich. I read books like Magic of Thinking Big. I read books like other good book on goals, books on habits like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I read a lot of good books. And with this book, I started getting perspective. They all started saying, write down your goal in bold letters, write down exactly what you want. I mean, it was so difficult for me. It took me almost like 6 months to 1 year to find out what exactly I want. And problem was that I was also changing. That was changing gradually. It was never like a fixed thing. It was changing. So I wrote it down. Okay, I want to be rich also. There's no harm. I mean, I don't have to feel ashamed to say I want to be rich. It's okay. I need money. What's the problem? I want wealth also. Then I wrote down, I want at least all renowned person, 10 renowned person to know me by name. At that point in time, I was aware of few authors. John Maxwell I was aware of, so he should know me by name. I was aware of Paul Martinelli. I want him to know my name. I knew I was going through the courses of Les Brown. I said Les Brown should know me by name. I wrote certain name. I wrote these people should know me by name. Okay, write it down. Now where am I standing today? Two people know me by name. John Maxwell know me by name, and Paul Martinelli know me by name. I'm working with them closely. Two people know. Another 8 are left. We will figure it out. How to do it, God knows. We'll work on it. God will connect. I want Joel Osteen to know me by name. They are all number one in their area, and I want to spend time with them. That's not one of the dream I got. I wrote down these dreams. Now, what happens is when you start writing this dream, God connect you to those people in your life. Trust me, if you are right now just popped into this live so right now, it is not luck. I mean, you could have just removed this, but you are watching it right now. The reason being, somewhere you're destined to connect with me. Somewhere. So God connected. Okay, this is something somebody's talking about. Go, let you go and watch this. You have, and your choice not to watch also, but God has connected. It is not you who have come here automatically. It is God's plan that it connected you. Similarly, I got connected with some of these coaches. I got connected with some of my mentors in my life, some virtually through books, some directly, but you will. So this first thing is writing down the goal. And once you write down the goal, then the biggest error you will do is identifying the process. And when I say process, first thing you should mark is the process need to be very flexible. Now, why I say process need to be flexible, because no matter what strategy you make right now, no matter, one thing is for sure, that strategy will be obsolete in 6 months. And I talk it at every forum in my goal setting workshop, that strategies are not worth wasting your time with. Then people say, why do I make a strategy? Yeah, you have to make because it's important. But after making it, be very flexible, because that strategy will be changed. And that has exactly happened in all my business ventures which I've got in. I've got in 4 to 5 businesses, and each business, one thing has happened. Whatever strategy I made to launch it, that strategy did not work by the time we started releasing. And I already had a choice, and I said, man, I don't care about strategy. For me, end goal is important. How it comes, I don't care. Very, very important. So then I wrote down the process. What is the process I did? That I have to dedicate intentionally some time for my personal growth. My personal growth is my priority, because if I have to become a coach, if I have to empower people, if I have to add value in people's life, who is the first person to get value? Me, myself. I am the person who have to invest on myself. That means I have to dedicate intentionally some time out of my schedule for my personal growth. And I started doing it. Then another process which I create, that means I have to take out some money also. I have to invest money to be part of those masterminds, because in that process you cannot succeed. Everything cannot happen automatically. You need to be part of an elite group. Now see, in my mastermind, when I meet around, I'm with the world's best professionals in the world, where I mastermind. And it is not free. I pay hefty amount for it. I pay more than $12,000-15,000 per year just to be part of that group. To be part of a group which is moving forward, which is doing something great. You cannot get it free. You cannot. You need to be with these people. When you meet with them on a weekly basis and spend some time and do some brainstorming, I'm telling you, it is priceless. It is priceless, because you learn something new. You get connected through people, and those connections open some new ideas and some new ventures in your life. You have to be part of. So I made it a process. My process, I have to be part of those masterminds. And what is the good news? Peak Impact Mentorship offers you that mastermind. If you really want to grow, you can be part of that. All right. Then what do you say? That you have to free time. I mean, my free time, which was going in playing and doing some habits, which was playing guitar. I mean, guitar was one of my hobby, and after a certain time, I realized hobbies, passionate people don't carry. Passionate, successful people don't have hobbies. They follow their passion. John Maxwell don't have a hobby. Paul Martinelli don't have hobbies. They don't have hobbies, man. Come on. They're not wasting their time. They follow their passion. They invest their time on their passion. So I realized one day, because that hobby was my mindset, I was investing my time on guitar, and one day I realized I am not going to become A.R. Rahman. Why am I wasting my time? It's good that I can get some mental peace for some time. That is fine. But is it at the price of my dream? If the time I have to put it in my dream, I would rather put my time on my dream rather than my hobbies. I mean, I have no problem playing guitar, but I realize it is coming to my, in between my dream. So then create a process. After you create a process, Third thing you have to find out is, what is the motive behind this goal? Why this goal is existing? First point, why is it existing? And this you have to be very honest, okay? Be very honest. And I started thinking, what is the motive? I want to be rich. I want a comfortable life. I don't have to worry about every single penny I spend. I mean, I should have the freedom to spend where I want to spend. Is it harmful? No. I mean, okay, I'm absolutely transparent with it. I want that money. There's no harm in it. Then I said, man, I want to be popular. I want to be somebody in somebody's life. I mean, I don't want to be nobody in somebody's life. I want to be somebody in somebody's life. I mean, people should remember me that due to this person's contribution in my life is better off. I want that. At least 1 million is my dream. One of the biggest dream I have is 1 million people's life I will impact. Directly and indirectly, I will do that as much as time I can dedicate for it. So I found it out. Okay, my motive is very simple. I want to be popular. I want to be rich. I want to live a comfortable life. I want to impact people's life. I want to be somebody in their life who is helping them to grow. And I was clear about my motive. The moment I was clear about my motive, what happens now? Now work becomes very easier. So till now, what we have discussed, first and foremost, what is the goal? After getting the goal, what is the process is in place? Because if process is not in place, goals are not going to work. So there is no point in having a goal without having a process in place. And then what I said, what is the motive behind goal? If you're having a goal, what is the motive? Why are you having this goal at the first place? And trust me, each of these questions which I've asked you right now, they are thought-provoking questions. And what is the good news? You are Friday, and it's a Friday evening in India. And if you're watching it in US, it is somewhere in lunchtime. You have a weekend in your place. Think on these questions. Think thoroughly. Spend some time. Understand what is the thought behind it. Why these questions are existing. Once you get this clear picture, it will be very easy for you to take it to the next level. And then the last most important point is, what price are you willing to pay for this goal? And the moment it comes to price, people are not willing to pay the price. Now, when I say the price, money is just one component of the price. The most important component is time. And you have to prioritize growth in your life. And to prioritize that, you need to be intentional. So what price you need to pay? Okay, if I talk about what price I paid, all right, let's see. When my salary was 6 lakhs rupees per annum, I was investing more than 1 lakh rupee on my personal growth. You'll say, oh, is it? Yes. Check it out. My entire home is filled with more than 5 almiras of books. I can show you some DVDs and cassettes which I purchased from US, bearing the shipping cost in dollars, but I invested. Okay, check it out. I mean, my entire house is a running library. And then I purchased Kindle to carry these things easily. In my Kindle, there are more than 2,000 books right now. I invest. I've been part of the coaching programs. So if you talk about any major coaching program, I'm part of it. I've invested that much of money on myself. So when I started making 30 lakhs rupees, I started investing more than 10 lakhs rupees on my personal growth. Now, I'm not recommending you to do that. No, I'm not recommending. But at least I will recommend you, are you investing at least 15 to 20% of your income? If not, then what you're trying to say me is this: you do not believe in yourself. You do not value your own way. You don't value yourself. That's why you're not investing on yourself. Because I'm not telling you to invest in some real estate. I'm not telling you to invest on something. I'm telling you to invest on your brain. All other investments may grow, may not grow. But investment on your brain will always grow because it is your brain. Nobody can steal it. It is your asset. It is your property. Why not grow it? If I have to grow so many things in my life, why would I not grow my brain, which is the most precious part of my body, and I would not invest on it? Then what am I doing? And because my interest inherently was in education, now this is one part of the group. So my investment was in courses, my investment was in books, my investment was in DVDs, cassettes. I purchased everything. Not only that much, I invested money to be part of an education group. We say it mastermind. Now, mastermind is a term taken from the book Think and Grow Rich, which says that a group of people who are thinking in a similar direction is a mastermind. And cumulative thinking is powerful than an individual thinking. And that mastermind will not be free. Now imagine you are having mastermind with Warren Buffett, John Maxwell, President Obama, and all these big people mastermind you're having. Man, is it possible to get them easily? I don't think so. But you know how doors open? When I started meeting Paul Martin and John Maxwell, my door opened for other people. Slowly, when I invest on myself again and again and again, and to be part of each of these association, I have to invest minimum for each of this association. For one session, I have paid more than $1,000. Now you say, which are you crazy? I am crazy guy, and success is for crazy people. I mean, no ordinary guy can become and create some difference in people's life. I mean, I have to do it. Now, when I say dollars, let me tell you, in India, every dollar is multiplied by 80 rupees. So it means when I say $1,000, I'm talking about 80,000 rupees in Indian currency. I didn't hesitate to invest. And the reason I didn't hesitate to invest is that I am able to follow my dream. So that's what I wanted to cover today. I'm sure it has added value. And today, just I summarized the snippet of the entire week and I gave you some thoughts. So this talk you can listen at least a couple of times before I remove it from the YouTube. It will be available in YouTube for this week for sure. And next week, this talk will be removed from the YouTube. So make notes of it and grow it. I'm sure you will use it for a proper knowledge of yours, for your growth. And if you believe it can help somebody, pass it on to them and let them also grow. Let's grow together. And if anybody has any question, I would like to see if you're still available online. Why don't you say hello and what did you learn? I mean, if you can add a couple of lines before I just sign out. So if you guys can say if you were part of this show, what did you love the most in this show today? What is the one takeaway which you would like to share? If anybody can share, I would like to see LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube. I can see the comments from. I think StreamYard can process the comment from these three places. If you are available right now live, I would like to see if any questions are there. Let me see if you have any questions. I would like to respond to your question. Let me see there. And just a second, if anybody is there. Durgesh had a question. Anybody else? If you have any question, you can. I would like to see. Just a second. If anybody else is there, any other questions? If you have Facebook or any other place, I would like to. Thank you. Thank you so much. So LinkedIn user is saying thank you. Anybody else? If you have any questions or anything you'd like to share, what did you like the most in this session? I would be enjoyed your session. I think I cannot see your name, but nice. So enjoyed your session. Thank you so much. Anybody else? If you learned something new, if you want to share, what was the biggest takeaway? I would like to know before I sign out. I'll be here for another 2 minutes before I sign out. Ram said, wonderful session. Thank you, Ram. Keep growing, keep learning. You are following exactly what we're talking about. You're part of the mastermind for more than 2 years now. So you are growing consistently. Very nice, Ram. Anybody else? If it's there, if you want to add something to this discussion, it will be great. So congratulations. It was great talking to all of you. I'm looking forward to meet you back on Monday. And Monday, I'm starting a series on handling failure. It was a course which I did a long time back, and I'll give you some snippet of it. So that can definitely help. Srisila says it was a good session. Thank you, Srisila. Biggest takeaways to keep learning. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much. All right. So Monday, I'm starting a series. By the way, if you're not signed in yet, so you can download my ebook, which I have created. It can help you to for transformation. And tomorrow, I'll be talking about something which can help you to grow. How to create impact in a noisy world is my topic for tomorrow. It will be part of those who are part of my AYP program or they're part of my basically coaching mentoring program. You can collect the Zoom link from one of the Peak Impact Mentorship coaches, or you can drop me a message. I will send you the Zoom link for tomorrow. Tomorrow 9 p.m. is our session. It will not be here. It will be it's a paid session which is happening in my private community. If you want to be part of that community, let me know. I will send you the Zoom link. It was great talking to you. Thank you so much. See you on Monday. And if you're part of my coaching program, then see you tomorrow 9 p.m. Thank you so much.